Thank you very much. I just wanted to let everybody know pretty much who I am. I'm a returning Rhode Island native. I just wanted to let everybody know pretty much who I am first. I'm a returning Rhode Island native. I've lived in Washington, D.C. for the last 10 years. I was a publicly elected official there, serving on the state committee and in the neighborhood, somewhat like a legislator here in Rhode Island. And I gave up a position working for the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development doing community planning and strategic plans for the nation. I returned to Rhode Island to work for a financial services firm here. It's currently in the process of an IPO, which is a company we want to save here in Rhode Island, which is what brought me home. And the secretary turned and said to me, "You're returning to Rhode Island that has the highest unemployment rate in the nation, the worst economic forecast in the mid-Atlantic and Northeast region, and probably one of the most corrupt states next to DC. Have you lost your mind?" And I said to the secretary, "No, there's no better place for me to go, is to go home where the most help is needed." So I wanted to come to you all today to tell you a little bit about community planning and stadiums. We've seen a consultant's report about bringing 1 million people to Rhode Island, how it's going to increase tax revenues, how it's going to be an economic generator, it's going to spur development here in the Jewelry District. Well, I live in the Jewelry District, and I can tell you all of that information is completely incorrect. No consultant cuts his purse strings off and tells his boss that this deal doesn't work. What I want to tell you is that most stadiums, and if we look at the Cato Institute study, will show you that a stadium, and we're talking a major league stadium, will decrease economic development in Rhode Island over the next 30 years by at least 3%. I know a lot about baseball stadiums. We built one in DC. It cost us $760 million. We built them in one of the most underserved areas of the district. It was pretty much low-income housing that was 40 to 50 years old, that was falling apart. There was nothing attractive to the area. So for the District of Columbia, with a booming jobs market, with very little housing, the stadium spurred economic development in a region no developer wanted to go into. Here in Rhode Island, we have pretty much 2 economic engines. We have Quonset Point for land, and we have this 195 land. So what I want to tell all of you Rhode Islanders is, this is not adding to your bottom dollar. This is not bringing high-paying jobs for families of 4. This is bringing low-paying, let me throw you some peanuts or a beer for $10 an hour. You will not be supporting your families on this. This is going to cost each and every taxpayer here in the state of Rhode Island $40 a piece every year. Let's look at the examples on where we've spent money in capital improvements. We have the convention center. The convention center's cost us almost $500 million. We have a railroad station that we put in. Do we see anybody coming from Massachusetts for flights? It was on the news this week, Wickford, nobody's driving on the trains. So let's be serious about this deal. I am neither for or against the stadium, nor the site it's going to go on. But I want us to pay attention to the deal. Because at the end of the day, Donald Trump would tell you, it's all in the art of the deal. So let's not have any cartoonists, but let's have Rembrandt come in here and paint us the real picture that we need to see. As I told Mr. Skeffington the other day, I know a lot of his partners, and they even know that their study's wrong. Mr. Ryan spent a lot of money to build the stadium down at URI, and we just recently saw an article in the Providence Journal that told us they're losing money. And his name's on the building. He's not even dead yet. So I don't know if I want to be putting my name on this stadium knowing what they're telling us now, because we all know those numbers aren't right. So at the end of the day, I just want to tell you, be cautious, be careful, and be loud, because Rhode Island cannot afford this deal. Can we afford a deal that's put on the table? As I asked Mr. Skeffington and his partners, I came back to Rhode Island under extreme reservations. Why would I give up a high-profile position, a political career, to move back to Rhode Island to have maybe a job? I did so because giving back is what we need to do here in Rhode Island now. Look to your left and look to your right, because one of those neighbors needs our help today. So I'm asking the partners who own the Closets now, it's time to give back to Rhode Island. It is not time to take away. It is not time to dig in the pockets of the future of Rhode Island. So pay attention, and I hope we get a great deal on this. Thank you.